Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Igniting Your Health podcast. This week, I want to talk about how to make sure you're setting your health goals in a way that makes you feel like anything is possible. If I were to ask you, what is your ultimate health goal? What would you say? I want you to dream big, because why not? It could be where you see yourself in 6 months from now, a year from now, or even 5 years from now. We know logically that our goals are not going to be an overnight success. But if you're willing to put in the time and the dedication to achieve this goal, then it will become your reality. If you listen to my previous podcast about investing in your health, where I talked about prioritizing your health and the importance of making time in your day for your top priorities, with one of those priorities benefiting your health, and you've started to implement that plan, then you're one step closer to achieving your goals. Another component to getting closer to your goals is to be in the right mindset, to prepare yourself for the changes that you're going to be making, no matter what fear, self-doubt, or worry cross your mind. But for today's episode, I want to help you set a goal that is not only going to be realistic, it's going to show you how your big goal is very achievable. And I want you to think about your goal as you listen to this podcast. So grab a pen and a piece of paper, and let's get started. First, I want you to write your goal out on a piece of paper. Now, ask yourself, is this a goal that you want to achieve? Is this something that you're striving towards because you want to achieve it? I want you to know that when you set out to achieve any goal, you should be working on something that will benefit you and your health. Over my years in healthcare, I have worked with a lot of clients that start out thinking that they have to achieve a certain weight because it's what other people are doing, or it's because they're comparing themselves to others and think that's why they have to do it too. Maybe there's pressure from friends or family. But whatever your goal is, I want you to know and be confident in the fact that it's just for you, that it's what you truly want for your health. And that this goal is specific goal that's going to target one particular area for improvement for your health. Next, take a look at your goal and decide if it's measurable. In other words, can you track it? Can it be measured so you can see your progress? Because as you start to work on your goal over the days and weeks and sometimes months ahead, you'll be able to see the progress. If you've been in the position before where you've set a goal for yourself, you lost the weight, but notice there were weeks that you just didn't see any progress. The weight either stayed in one place for an extended period of time, meaning your weight plateaued, or it may have even increased. In these cases, your motivation to keep going may have faltered. You may have stopped making those changes that were previously working for you. What I do know is that you will have your ups and downs over the course of working on your health goal. Nothing is going to be perfect, but you have to keep going. That's why your goal is measurable, a goal that you can track over time so you can see your progress and you can celebrate those wins, whether they're big or small. My next question is, do you believe your goal is achievable? Whether it's to lose weight, to live longer, to be active without being out of breath, to have more energy, or to feel less tired. All of these goals are achievable. It's about believing in yourself enough to know that you can achieve anything you set your mind out to do. Now, how fast do you want to achieve your goal? In most cases, your goal can be broken up into smaller, more realistic pieces. And it's in these pieces or these smaller goals within your big goal that we work on one step at a time. I want you to look at your goal and see if you can break it down into smaller, more manageable pieces. These are the realistic pieces that make up the whole of your big goal. In other words, making your big goal not only achievable, but realistic. This reminds me of a previous client I had a number of years ago. It was about a year before I went on maternity leave from a primary care clinic I was working at. And at the time, I was an exercise specialist. My role was to help clients improve their overall health through exercise. One of the most important components of these appointments was not only to get my clients to move and exercise more, it was knowing where my clients were in their current health and where they wanted to be. And my role was to help get them there by adding exercise or some physical activity to their daily routines. And to do that, we focused on their long term goal. And I would help them walk through their big goal and break it down into smaller, more manageable pieces to help them get there. I remember one client in particular. She was so sweet and kind. She was in her 50s, still working. Her kids had left home already, and her goal was to lose 50 pounds. What I remember most was the look on her face when she told me that, almost as if she already knew it wasn't going to happen because it seemed too far out of reach. You see, when looking at your goal, does your goal seem too far out of reach? What time frame are you giving yourself to achieve these goals? What time frame are you giving yourself to achieve your big goal? As I started talking more with my client, I had asked her, how many weeks are in a year? And of course, she answered 52. So I made the suggestion that what if we focused on losing just 1 pound a week? The program we offered was 1 year in length, so I would meet with her regularly to help her, and that way losing 50 pounds wouldn't seem so daunting. She kind of giggled at the idea, at the excitement of losing 50 pounds in a year, but also a little bit of disappointment because it wasn't going to happen more quickly. Sometimes when we have bigger health goals that we want to achieve, it's hard to see all those smaller achievements you've made along the way because you're so focused on what you're not achieving as quickly as you would have liked. But it's about trusting in the process and knowing you will get there as long as you're moving forward, working on your goal every single day, doing something, one small thing every single day that will help you get you to your ultimate goal. I met my client every 2 to 3 weeks. And before she left at the end of each session, we would set goals for her to work on in that 2 to 3 week span. Her goals ranged from just walking on her lunch break to registering for an aquafit class and to do exercises at home in the evenings. No matter how small she thought the goals were, she promised to do them. There were weeks of self doubt and frustration because she didn't see the numbers change on the scale like she was hoping, but she felt proud that she was accomplishing her goals with each session. She was starting to feel better about herself, and the more she felt better about herself, the better she felt in all aspects of her life. At the end of that year, on her last day of the program, I sat down with her and reviewed the progress she had made over the year. You know how much weight she actually lost? 50 pounds. She knew each visit had its ups and downs, with not exercising, eating more, less motivation. But a lot of the other appointments, she knew she could turn it around. And the overall result, she reached her goal. That goal that seemed almost impossible for her a year before. We've all seen pictures on TV of before and after images of people getting in shape. Every single day, we choose a direction. If you're happy or unhappy with any aspect of your health, take a look at what you were doing 1 year or even 6 months ago. You create a momentum in your life that drives you to where you are right now, whether it's good or bad. The hard part about momentum is that it takes power, conviction, and commitment to stop or shift it. The good thing about momentum is that it doesn't take much to keep going. Just that little push, that one baby step every single day. So, If you're just starting out on your health journey or in the midst of creating healthy habits, but struggling to make these habits a consistent part of your daily routine, I want you to set goals that are specific to you, goals that are measurable, goals that are achievable, and that can be accomplished within a realistic time frame. Trust and believe in yourself that you can do it, that you can reach your big dream goals. As long as you focus on one step at a time and keep that momentum going. And just like I've helped hundreds of clients over the past 2 decades, I'd love to help you get started as well and gain that momentum you need to achieve your long term health goals. I've added the link in the description of the episode for you to reach out to me and book a free 30-minute consultation session to see if we're a good fit and to get you started. I'll help you create that path to your healthiest future. If you're also looking for that kickstart to get into that right mindset to set your goals, join me in my free Dream Health Challenge, and it all starts on June 5th. The link to sign up is also in the description of my podcast episode. Have an amazing week, everyone.